Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to the Hot Seat. In the Hot Seat tonight is Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa from the JVP, and he's here mainly to talk about the one thing that's on all our minds, fuel. It's a very bad F word today. Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening.
What's happening? Where's the fuel gone to?
So we have seen the longest queue in the country for last, I think, 3-4 decades after the 70 period.
Yeah.
So we see that there are three issues behind this fuel crisis.
Okay.
One thing, as our party leader mentioned in the parliament yesterday by 23rd statement, this government suddenly changed the normal procedure in purchasing fuel.
There you go.
Yes. Usually for last few years we have the system on a long-term contract basis.
Right.
So
it's
we
a
have
term contract.
Term contract, yes.
Right.
We are purchasing in that way. But recently they changed it to purchase it on the spot.
So they changed from term to spot.
Yeah.
Who made this change? Who authorized the change?
This is the decision of the cabinet, anyway.
In this cabinet?
Yes. Anyway, we would like to reveal in more details in near future.
Yeah.
So far, we have informations that for last 3-4 weeks, the country lost nearly $40 million.
Yeah. We calculated the loss to be around a tad under 6 billion rupees.
That is no. I mean that by changing this procedure system.
I see.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Second thing, what happened to this?
Actually, this is also like the bond, because there was a system in place since 1997
same
to 2015.
Yes.
And then somebody changed that system, and then somebody came to Parliament and said, I instructed the change.
Yes.
And that I turned out to be none other than the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yes. It is same. They took the decision. I mean, it's not came from the cabinet.
Right.
All these decisions initiate in a very small group in the temple trees.
Oh, I see.
Including
that's the Prime Minister's office.
Yes, Prime Minister and his economic consultant, who made similar decisions in 2001-2003 period.
Who is his economic consultant?
It's Mr. Lanka.
Right.
And Mr. Atate, as well as Prime Minister's party chairman, Mr. Sabarikno.
Mr. Sabarikno.
Yes. So these 4-5 people are taking decisions.
Is this the sort of kitchen cabinet?
Yes, kitchen cabinet, and they themselves named this group as the Economic Management Committee, CCM, and this is so far high from the cabinet. So they push the cabinet to implement their decisions. That's a problem. So that happened in the bond issue as well as this crisis.
No, but not only these two things. There's been a departure from procedure.
Yes,
national procedures in relation to procurement has been the root cause of all these problems. It's the same with the bond, and it's the same with the highways, and now the Central Expressway. So there is a pattern here. Do you detect a pattern?
Yes, I did. We detected that. Why country has a long-term, normal, procedures, that is to protect the people, to protect the country, and protect the people's tax.
But when you have such systems in place, can the minister then make money?
No, usually can't. But they'll
find a way.
Yes, they will find some ways. Anyway, when one group suddenly changed that pattern, it means definitely there will be big loss and big wastage as well as big corruption. So we noticed last 1.5 years after the 2015 general election by this government. Second issue behind this fuel crisis, we noticed that what happened with LIOC.
Yeah.
So they forced the government to purchase a substandard fuel ship.
Yeah.
But they failed in 2 laboratory tests.
Yeah, this is the LIOC parcel of fuel.
Yes, yeah. The other one is what happened with the storage.
With the storage.
Yeah. So we have only storage capacity of 1 week. So we had 101 oil tanks in Trincomalee, 2 damaged during the war period, but 99 still we can use. So majority of these oil tanks leased during 2001-2003 period by the UNP government, the same Prime Minister. But this lease agreement is actually illegal. It is not in the procedure.
Right.
So this government can abolish it, and actually this last 3 months before, the petroleum trade unions, they asked the government to cooperate these some of the oil tanks to the petroleum corporation.
Yeah, to the CPC.
And yes, CPC, and 2016 April, 2017 April, then the cabinet minister submitted a cabinet paper to get some oil tanks to the petroleum corporation. But 2 months later, what happened? Prime Minister submitted another cabinet paper, and he cancelled that previous one. So he wants to continue the lease agreement in LIOC and Sri Lankan government. So the other major issue is we don't have enough storage capacity.
We have the capacity and no fuel, or the other way around, that we don't have tanks to keep. We have the tanks.
Yeah, we have the tanks,
but no fuel.
No, we have the tanks, but authority is
lacking.
Yes, lacking, and it's with other party, LIOC. So they are, even these oil tanks situated in our territory, the officers of the CPC even can't enter to these premises. That happened in a few months before, that they were arrested by LIOC guards.
Right. So, but I want to ask you this: why should the market share of LIOC is only 16%?
Yes.
So a company that is having a market share of 16%, why should the import of oil that they're bringing as part of their stock to sell, why blame them? What's their problem? What wrong have they done?
Though they have 16% of the market, their influence is more than 16%. The recent issue is, let's say that the rejection of substandard ship is one reason.
Yeah.
But simultaneously, the ship ordered by the CPETCO has not come in proper time, on time. So I think that to take the substandard fuels to the country, they impose some pressure to to international, to their international support to delay that CPETCO ship. So by this they push the government to purchase their ship, even they have this substandard oil.
On that note, Dr. Nalinda Justice, we'll take a short break and then resume our discussion. Don't go away. After all, this is the Hot Seat. Well, good evening again, and back to the hot seat. In the hot seat is, of course, Dr. Nalinda Jatis from the JVP. So, Doctor, there seems to be a problem. This, again, even in this matter, we have seen a departure from procedure.
Yes, let me continue. In the third reason,
the third reason
is the problem with the refinery.
Ah, yes, refinery.
We got refinery in 1969, but you see, there's not enough renovations.
So it hasn't kept up to date.
Yes, that's the problem. So these three major issues: this shipment of the substandard oil ship of the LIOC,
yeah,
and we don't have enough storage facility. The current situation of the refinery.
Yeah.
So all these issues get together and
cause this one thing.
Yeah.
But if we had people who knew how to plan and who knew how to manage, then this problem shouldn't have happened. There is no war going on in the world.
Yes.
There is no shortage of ships, yes, right? And so the requirement, the ongoing requirement for Sri Lanka is, I think, between 6,000 and 8,000 metric tons. So it was easy to plan it out and to ensure that the security of the energy supply and the availability of energy is consistent. Very important for businesses, and yeah, apart from the inconvenience to the people. Apparently this government has forgotten about the people a long time ago, right? So you leave that aside, but what about the most obvious things, about the industries? Can they afford to have this sort of interrupted power?
Well, definitely this fuel crisis may affect the industry as well as the whole economy.
Right.
I think at the moment we can't imagine what extent it affects the economy. As well, we have to think that even in the delay of one shipment,
yeah,
causing such a problem.
Yes.
So what government, what in the previous government, so the current government,
yeah,
what they have done for to face such a problem? I think we have to plan for in the future,
yeah,
to increase the storage capacity,
yeah,
as well as to face such a problem.
yeah.
I mean, this is a very serious issue.
Right.
Without energy, without fuel, we can't survive. So we have, now we can see we have several energy and petroleum ministers in this cabinet, in previous government. So in appointing a subcommittee or cabinet committee after this issue they can submit a report,
yeah,
but nothing happened. So there are experts in this issue.
Yeah,
we have to get the advices of the economists as well as the experts in this petroleum energy sector for the future. Otherwise,
but it's always about the future.
Yeah.
Nobody is ever doing anything about the present. and people who've made money from the bond, their monies are still out there. They're buying businesses, setting up businesses, sending it abroad, spending it, giving their staff huge bonuses.
In this issue, what I can see, one thing is the policy, the fault of the policy makers. The other one, this inefficient management. So we have to
inefficient. Which is worse?
The policy makers.
Right. So that's flawed
the
as
inefficient management affects the short-term results, but for the long term, when we consider the long term, the policy makers. So that's why, I mean, when this the UNP government in 2001 to 3 period, when they decided to lease the oil tanks in Trincomalee for 35 years,
yeah,
they have to consider the future of this industry, future
yeah,
of the economy and future of the country.
You think that they didn't do that then?
They didn't do even, I mean, at the moment, they don't understand their fault. That's a serious issue.
That's more serious than the actual loss.
Yeah, yeah. Because we can solve this problem by 1 or 2 shipments in next week.
Yeah.
But privatizing the national assets and the long-term lease these national assets to the foreign countries and foreign companies, it will harm any time in the future.
Very serious matters indeed.
Yes.
And do you think that in spite of you shouting and your party shouting and making a big noise in Parliament and at press conferences and the media such as ourselves reporting constantly about these matters, do you think that the Prime Minister will be man enough to admit it and ensure that the monies that he may have collected for their party or whoever it is returned? Or shall I put it another way? Is it okay to do all these things just because your party needs money?
I don't think that the Prime Minister's agenda is focusing on the betterment of the country, the nation. He's always focusing how he can take the power in next presidential or general election.
Right.
I mean, that's why they didn't submit any proposals or resolution to the Constitution.
Yes. The UNP comments
UNP,
are not there.
No. Whatever accepted in the steering committee of the Parliament, they take for their benefit.
Right.
I think that always the Prime Minister is thinking how to become the president or the Prime Minister with majority in the Parliament, nothing else. So that's why he's having no long-term future plans.
Only short-term?
Only short-term. He can sell everything in the country.
Yeah.
So that's why he took the decision to lease 99 years the Hambantota port.
Yes.
That's why he's trying to lease the airport in Matala as well as our mineral resources. He's only focusing on very, very short-term benefits to survive 1 or 2 days, not the future.
Very serious matters indeed. On that note, we'll go for another break. Don't go away. After all, this is The Hot Seat. And welcome back to The Hot Seat, where we're joined by Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa of the JVP. Now then, Doctor, we've spoken about these other matters, including the fuel and national procurement guidelines being violated and not even being implemented in some cases. And that leads to corruption. Now then, what about, there's another important event happening, and not a lot of people know this, and that is the budget. Why is it so low-key this time?
No one knows what happens in the budget, but we guess that it may election-oriented budget. Actually, this budget speech and the document is just a speech in the Parliament. Nothing will happen by these proposals. Even for last 2 budgets, majority of the proposals didn't implement yet. When they promised to the school children, artists, the workers, farmers,
the national audit bill,
national audit bill, and even the budget office, they have a lot of proposals that they follow the Westminster system, but in implementing side they are very weak. Maybe this budget even just a big shout.
Yeah.
But the economic crisis of the country still remain. No propose solutions to get rid of this economic crisis.
So what will you all be doing as a party at these forthcoming elections on the assumption that it will be held? So if it's held, A, who is the JVP going to contest with, and B, what will you all be doing? Are you going to organize visits for the people to go and see what there has not been done or what has been done? How do you intend addressing this?
No, we will contest as JVP alone, but we invite, or already we have invited the people to join with the JVP. We are willing to give you the candidacy in our party. In
What's
this local government,
what's the catch? How many times do you have to come, come to Parliament and wherever? What's the catch? Is there a catch?
I'll see. I mean, let me talk about this.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, okay. I mean that we achieved we achieved something in this election process.
Yeah.
We are able to drop the 2012 Basil Rajapaksa's proposals, and we are able to introduce somewhat fair electoral system to the country. Now the people have the right to elect the correct representative from their electorates.
Right.
We are focusing in this local government election to, yes, we will start the system against the corruption, anti-corruption movement from the grassroots level, from the village.
Right.
So we can continue it up to the parliament or for the country for next 2-3 years. So we are asking people to use your vote basically mainly against the corruption. So this is the very big problem in this country.
And you feel the people will listen to you all?
We are trying, but it should do.
What does your private polls indicate that you in tracing? Do you have any numbers in what the agencies are saying to you, that your popularity has gone up, gone down, gone sideways?
Let keep the JVP aside, but the popularity and the trust of the government, both parties, are going down very seriously. They are searching, they are finding, they are seeking a third party, third force, third movement. Let's see, we are trying to fulfill the people's demand with center in JVP, but we invite all who like to build this country, who are against the corruption, who like to protect this country. So please join. We'll form a common front for the next 2020 election. So we will start this by this local government election. So we have opportunity.
Dr. Nalinichus Jayatissa, thank you very much. Because it's going out tonight, we hope. Do you think there'll be another fuel crisis again, or have they learned the lesson?
Maybe. Without a proper system, we can't continue in this. We can't face such problems. So the responsibility goes to the cabinet, the government.
So 1997 till now, we've seen the bond happening. It's still not finished. The reverberations are still there. What chances for good governance in the near time, in any time soon? What do you think?
Not soon. We have to wait until 2020, because anyhow this coalition will continue up to 2020. But we are changing the electoral system. We are establishing somewhat fair and reasonable a political culture. We established independent commissions. So with all these reasons, now the people can initiate, and they can take
take charge.
step, yes, towards the good governance.
Dr. Nalinda Jasi, sir, thank you very much for being in the hot seat and for telling us all about the fuel crisis and also about something called the delivery or the non-delivery from this government. But above all, we spoke about the departure from procedure, the national procurement procedure. Perhaps you'll come and explain it all again on one of our other programs in greater depth. Thank you very much. And that's about it from the hot seat this week. Take care. Good night.